Hello everyone, welcome to Daily Lead Code Challenge. The problem for today is minimum number of arrows to burst balloons. So you will be given a set of balloons. They will be placed in a horizontal line. So you will be given the position of each balloon, uh, the start position and end position of each balloon in the horizontal direction. So let's say you have some 3-4 balloons. The positions will be like 1 comma 2, so the starting position of balloon will be coordinate position 1, and the end position will be 2, and 3 4 if you have there will be another balloon at 3 and 4, there will be another balloon at 4 5 and 6 7. So you will be given the horizontal positions of balloons. So you need to find minimum number of arrows that you need to shoot so that all the balloons will be burst. So the idea here is, let's say you have two balloons. If they are not overlapping, so you need two arrows to shoot those two balloons. So if, let's say, if they are overlapping, then if you shoot an arrow at the intersection point of these two balloons, so you will burst the two balloons with one arrow. So you need to process all the coordinates of the balloons and find minimum number of arrows that are required to burst all the balloons. Okay, so let's look at the examples given here. So in the example one, you have four balloons. The coordinates are the coordinates will be given in any order, so they won't be in a sorted order. So the first balloon has 10 and 16. The second one has 2, 8. Third one has 1, 6, and the last one has 7 and 12. So if you look at the second and third balloons, uh, they are overlapping. So 1, 6 and 2, 8, they are overlapping each other. So you need one arrow to burst these two balloons. And the first and fourth balloon, they are again overlapping. So you need another arrow to burst these two balloons. So you need a total of two arrows to burst all the four balloons. In the second example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All the coordinates are in sorted order. So if you look at the first and second balloon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the balloons here are non-overlapping. So you don't have any overlapping between any two balloons. So you need to burst each balloon separately. So you need four arrows. So your answer will be 4. The third example, you have balloons with coordinates 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. So each balloon is touching the next balloon. So if you take two balloons at a time, let's say 1, 2, 2, 3. So you can shoot one arrow at the point 2. So it will burst the two balloons at the same time. In the same way, you take third and fourth balloons, you can shoot an arrow at the point 4. So you need a total of two arrows. So in the next example, you have one balloon, so you need one arrow. The last example, you have two balloons, but both the balloons are at the same position, exactly same position, same dimensions. So we just need one arrow to burst these two balloons. So the constraints are 0, the number of balloons will be in the range from 0 to 10 power 4. So you will be given an empty set as well. So you just have to handle the empty case. And every member in the points vector will be having start and end positions, the coordinates of the balloons. And the coordinates can be from my int max and int min. Let's look at an example in depth. Let's say your input is 1 3 3 5 5 7 7 9. So if you see the balloons are touching each other at the ends. So I have represented these balloon coordinates in a timeline in a coordinate space. So you have one balloon from 1 to 3, then another one from 3 to 5, the third balloon from 5 to 7, the other one, last one from 7 to 9. So the intersection point for first and second balloon is 3. So if you pass one arrow at that point, so you burst first two balloons. So again, the third and fourth points intersected 7. You can pass another arrow at point 7, so you can burst these two balloons. So the idea behind uh, this problem is, first you need to sort the coordinates. So that makes your problem pretty simple. So if you sort your given data, you make it easier such that you just process your data in a linear time. You start from the first point and you go on till the last point. So you don't have to process your data multiple times. So your solution will be in linear time. So it should be in the order of O of n or O of n log n, because to sort these points we need a sorting algorithm which ideally takes n log n time. Okay, let's see how we can write the code. So first I am going to sort these points. So if the number of points, given points are 0, so if it is empty, you just return 0. Then I'm calling STL a sort function. So I'm passing points, begin and end iterators. Then in the sorting algorithm, I have written my own sorting algorithm, comparator comparison function. So if the so we need to sort these given points in a ascending order of the coordinates. So if the both the points are starting at same position, so you just check the second coordinate. So if the first else you just return the result based on the first coordinate. So now you get a list of points in the sorted order. Now it becomes easy to process the points. So I am taking one set here. So the set maintains all the so the idea here is we process all the points, find the intersection intervals, and keep those intervals in the set. So as you know, set maintains a unique elements. Let's say you have two points 1 comma 2, and you have two balloons with coordinates 1 2, and again both the balloons having coordinates 1 2. So you just need one arrow to shoot these two balloons. So the set maintains, when you insert 1 to 2 times in the set, it just maintains one element. So when you process your data, you finally just return the size of your set. That becomes your answer. So you start from the first point. So initially the set will be empty. So you just insert the first point to the set. So from the second point onwards, you just take the existing point in the set. You check if they are overlapping. If they are overlapping, you find the intersection of these 2 points, and then remove the last element from the set, and then insert the intersection point in the set. So this way finally you will end up with a set of points which are non-overlapping. So that will become your answer. So let's look at this logic, how we do the intersection of the points. So if you want to know that if two points are intersecting, because the points are in sorted order, the second point will be always greater than the first point. So if the second point's start position is less than or equal to the first point's end position, that means they are touching or they are overlapping. So this condition takes care of that. If point 0 is less than or equal to temp 1, so temp 1 is nothing but the last point in the set. So that means they are overlapping. So I am just modify the coordinates of the temp point, then erase the last point from the set. So erase is a number function which will take care of erasing the last point at a given erasing any point at a given particular iterator. So I am passing the stn will give you the iterator past the last element. So when you do minus minus, it will give you the last element. So you just erase the last element, then insert the newly constructed point. Let's say if they are not overlapping, that means you have two unique intervals, so you just insert the newly found interval. So finally you return your size of the set, so that becomes your answer. So let me submit and check. Yeah, so the expected answer is same, matching with your answer. So let me submit and show you the runtime. Before we see the runtime of the program, I just want to tell you one more point. One trick here is whenever you pass variables, you should always use a reference instead of just passing variables. If you pass by reference, it is not going to make any additional copies. If you just pass as a pass by value, it has to take a copy of the variable, so it keeps multiple copies on the stack. So when you are calling this function multiple times, there will be multiple copies of different variables, so every time it has to copy the variables in the stack. That increases your runtime of your program. So when I just ran this program without reference, it gave me around 1500 milliseconds. But now when I change it to pass by reference, it came down till 464 milliseconds. Yeah, so all the test cases have been passed. Yeah, thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to my channel and please provide your feedback. Thank you.